Francis, just before we start, I do just want to pass on my condolences. I can't imagine what the last few months have been like for you.
Thank you, Matt. Appreciate that.
It's been obviously a couple of years, over 2 years now, since you fought in mixed martial arts. When you look at the heavyweight division across all promotions, do you think much has changed since you stopped, I suppose?
Absolutely, things has changed. The landscape has changed. A lot of new fighter has come up and distinguished themselves from the rest of the fighters.
Have you, when you were away, I know you fought in boxing, but was it a complete break from MMA for 2.5 years? Was there any training at all?
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't exactly 2.5 years because after my last fight, I kept training MMA. I had my surgery and kept training MMA since I was expecting to fight by the end of 2022. So yeah, I would say like two years that I haven't really trained MMA.
Is there any sense that stepping away from the training part of it and then coming back to it was a benefit in that you, I don't know, maybe you picked up any habits or things that were you able to take a fresh look at it maybe?
No, it's just different. I moved and did something completely different, but still was active, and then now I'm back.
What did you think about the way boxing was run compared to how MMA is run?
Um, I think boxing is very political. Boxing is very political. There is a lot of control into boxing, unlike MMA that I mean into boxing fight, unlike MMA. But still, boxing is MMA is more free.
Okay, you're with the PFL now, of course. What is it about the way it's run that attracted you?
What
I said you're with the PFL now. What is it about the way it's run that attracted you?
what is it about the way that what?
The PFL is run that attracted you.
The way that it's run? Where is the vision, the relationship, the treatment, the approach, the consideration. I think it's a lot of all those little stuff that attracts me. Again, I emphasize on the word consideration because uh, as we are speaking, we are preparing the launching of a PFL Africa next year, which is something that I always dream of. And then I have brought this conversation even to the UFC, but they really had no interest. But for like the first time, PFL was the one that even initiate that in the conversation.
Why do you think it has taken so long for a promotion to try and break into Africa?
What?
Why do you think it has taken so long for a promotion to try and break into Africa?
Well, let's be honest, is a new sport that in some part of the world, even in the West, is still not quite developed. You know, like I think like even in France, they just legalize it's just been MMA been legalized for just like 4 years ago, and there are some country that are still working in the process. So also for the same reason, there is not like a resource, a human resource to develop that sport. They are not like they don't have a history of like that sport that you will easily find a jiu-jitsu coach or a MMA coach that is high level that have been in the high level, you know. So it's basically like no, like starting on the roof, on the route because there's still a combat sport in Africa, but as far as MMA concerned, it's a little behind. So there's more work into bringing the sport up.
And do you think you have enough years left in the sport to actually fight in Africa yourself?
Um, I don't know if that's something that's possible. I mean, I see myself fighting for maybe 3 or 4 more years. And we will see how fast the PFL African is growing, how the sport is growing out there after we launch next year.
Mm. You have won plenty of fights by devastating knockouts. You were on the end of one against Anthony Joshua. I'm interested in how, when you woke up the next day, and how did you process that?
He was a different experience. It was a different experience, but still something that in every fight you know it can happen.
Did,
So you you know that like it's like going to war. You shoot people, but you know that someday you can take a bullet.
did you learn more from that fight or more from your fight against Tyson Fury?
It depends on which aspect. As far as the fight itself concerned, I learned more from the Tyson Fury fight, but in the business, the organization side, I learned more from the Anthony Joshua fight.
Okay. Have you spoken to Anthony since then?
No, we don't speak. I mean, we just meet when we had a fight.
Okay. I think it was always your plan to come back to MMA after you fought Joshua, but did you have offers for more boxing fights?
Um, Not yet, but I think I mean the last um the last couple months wasn't really a right time to be talking about like a boxing fight. The reason why we even have this fight is that this is a fight that we were talking about even before the Anthony Joshua fight. When the PF champ and the Bellator champ even happened in Riyadh, it was in the purpose to like fight a winner of that fight.
And when you see Renan Ferreira, what do you see in him as a fighter?
He's a very great fighter. He has a very good attribute as a heavyweight, very good speed, fast hand, very athletic.
I know he came out and explained his comments yesterday when he said he would be your toughest challenge this year, but were you offended at the time?
No, I mean I didn't even get it, and so I didn't even take it as a offense. I wasn't offense by it. I knew like so I've been in the position that I have to speak, so people have to translate what I'm saying. So sometimes he comes out not to be exactly what you mean to say.
I don't think money is a particularly motivating factor for you, but you have earned quite a lot in the last couple of fights. Has it changed the way you look at things in terms of you honestly could do anything you wanted now?
I always believe that I can do anything that I want. Sorry. I always believe that I can do anything that I want to do. Yes, but obviously with money, it gives you more ability to do it. You get more resource to do things that you might have wanted and you couldn't do. Yes, so but I always believe that I can do anything. And in fact, that's why I'm here. Money is a asset, is a tool that will help me to get where I'm going.
Do you see yourself, staying with PFL and having several fights?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. Another gentleman who is with you in Washington is Jake Paul. What do you make of him wanting to fight Alex Pereira?
I think he's joking.
Do you think?
Yeah, yeah. Because he's gonna get smoked, but for real.
And what do you think about his plans to fight in the cage?
Yeah, he can fight in the cage. It depends, but he has to start with somebody on at his level or close to his level, basically his weight class. No, come to and then not come to heavyweight and pick a guy like Alex Ferreira. Even if you come to heavyweight, you have to pick your opponent wisely to start, not like the elite one.
You did some training with Mike Tyson before you fought Tyson Fury. He's going to fight Jake Paul. Do you think Mike Tyson is in any kind of shape to have another fight?
Uh, he might not have been at his best shape, but I think he has what would take to kick Jake Paul ass.
Excellent. Francis, thank you very much for your time. All the best in your fight.
Thank you, man.
Thank
Bye.
you.